Update live with our mayor, Joe Preston from the city of St. Thomas. And we also have a special guest tonight, Carolyn McDade. She's the general manager of the St. Thomas-Elgin Food Bank. She does amazing work for our community along with a whole slew of volunteers. So one of the things we want to talk about this year is what donations you need and what you guys do for everyone who doesn't know.
Well, we've been running the food bank since 1986 here in St. Thomas. So it's obviously a need, definitely. And we're very, very busy lately. We have a new location and we're in the Royal Canadian Legion building at 24 John Street, and we're at the back door entrance. So big changes with COVID and with the move, etc. So that's just even made it a little bit busier, but we're in a bigger, brighter location and we needed more space. But we still need more donations right now.
Absolutely.
That, Karen, because I think almost every day that passes, somebody asks, "Where's the food bank now?"
Yes.
Right, and it's not one of those things that you go looking for until you're going looking for it. So, thank you for sharing about where it is now in the back door of the Royal Canadian Legion on John Street. So you didn't move far, but somebody's driving around with a donation for you, and we want them to find you.
Yes. And we're on the website, and we have a cell phone and we have a landline, and so we can email us. We're easily reached. We were having a bit of problems with Google and still taking us to our old address at 803 Talbot. So we're trying to still get those snags out, but 24 John Street in Royal Canadian Legion. So yes, the back door. We have a bell there. You just ring the bell.
Fantastic. And what are you looking for this year in terms of donations for people that want to donate and they want to know what they need to get and deliver to you guys?
Monetary donations are always wonderful, of course, that we could purchase food with. But food donations, which, there's food drives going on and this out, they've been absolutely amazing. We have, you talk about St. Thomas being, they are definitely giving back sort of community, and, proud to be here. And I'm very passionate about the food bank. And yes, we're low on canned goods. And usually that's what a lot of people give. People a lot of times are thinking baby diapers and feminine products, but right now we have a slew of those and we're running out of space for those items. So instead of that, we're really in need of canned goods, be it, pasta sauce, brown baked beans, like totally out of. I've got a whole list. So when people say, what do you need if I'm having a food drive, I send them our logo as well as a needs list of the high priority items that are used, because we make up food hampers now, and people will ring the back door bell and they'll come and pick up their food hamper. Nice to call ahead of time or text us, and we'll have it all ready for them. And so it can be like a little drive-through sometimes, or walk-ups. Walk-ups are always welcome, of course, too.
Well, Karen, I've seen a few lately, and I guess this time of year there may be more. These community kind of groups get together and say, let's put together, and you see a car with a full trunk or a van with a full van of stuff showing up. Am I right? Is that more often this time of year?
Oh, yes, definitely. With Christmas coming upon us. And I work closely with, Grace Cafe, In Out of the Cold, Christmas Care, of course, which is registering clients right now for their Christmas hamper. And so if they had any leftover donations, they would share them with us. We have bins in most grocery stores, 6 or 7 places here in St. Thomas. And I let them take over our grocery stores for a month. And so they can fill their Christmas hampers with that. So they've been absolutely wonderful. And we work very closely together with Worth and Pat Connor there. And so they're at the old Zellers at the Elgin Center. And once again, people are signing up. So there are a lot of resources for Christmas time in this city. We are so very lucky.
Absolutely. And let's talk a little bit about the people that are behind the scenes. So we've got some pictures.
Yes. Well, there's volunteers and staff members there. So Paul Dalton is our only male in them and he's been with us since October 2018. There's Sarah with the 2 cookies in her hand, Sarah Coleman, Shirley Ashton, Susan Gillick, and myself there. And those cookies say we love food bankers, and that came from Feed Ontario. that I work very closely with that will share any food products that they have in abundance. And we usually get a skid of them. So it's been really fun because it's been, the other day it was a skid of frozen waffles. So we can offer that instead of just cereal. Here's some waffles and syrup. So more syrup would be great.
Awesome. And it looks like we've got a turkey here.
Well, yes. Well, so we never received any turkeys this year. So yes, this picture was at our old location with all of us once again. And we had a freezer full of turkeys, and we were able to give them out at Christmas time, especially for those that weren't able to qualify or pick up at Christmas Care. And so we could share that with the larger families. So that was wonderful. They were gone in no time. So
no doubt. And how about this place?
Well, so this would be the double dance halls here that used to be there that people of old may know. Mm-hmm. And not that long ago, and they would hold concerts there, etc. And they'd, I think there was ballroom dancing there at one time. So there's the two areas. This is the main area. And instead of having cans on shelves and everything is in pretty well milk crates. And we fill them up and we go through and we fill our hamper, and then we have them pre-ready and pre-made. So you can see one just in front of Sarah there. So that's some of the donations, be it from Feed Ontario or Food Banks Canada. That was tuna. And so you can see there, we had plenty of food at that time. And right now, some of these skids have absolutely nothing on them. But so we're a little bit low, but I know it always picks up at Christmas time, and everyone is so amazing and so generous with us.
Absolutely. And then we have another photo here of looks like some office folks, maybe?
Well, yeah. So it's the same bunch there again. Great. And I treated the staff to the charcuterie board is it From the Vines? From the Vines,
yeah.
Yes. So, and those are lilacs from my own garden, mine and Steve's. And and of course, we're practicing safety there with our hand sanitizers. And, we were having to wear the screens. And now it's just simply the masks. But as I say, it does work out quite well. We are working on trying to get a covered area at the back for people that are outside. But right now it's bada boom, bada bing that, you call ahead. Even if you were to call half an hour ahead, we try to get that ready. We give you a time to pick up, and you show up and you ring the bell. I can see you, you can't see me. And it's like, Susie will be right with you. So it's working out. I have amazing staff, amazing volunteers, a fantastic board of 9 volunteers. So I'm very lucky, very lucky. Have a lot of support.
Absolutely. We should give a shout out to Sarah Coleman as well, right?
Yeah, Sarah. She's my assistant, and as well as Sue and all of them there. They are absolutely amazing. I'm just trying to read some of the. Oh, is that Tyler saying that we are awesome? I have loads and loads of content goods from you. He's super grateful. It's wonderful to hear comments from clients, and you don't always want it to be negative. When they're positive, we love to hear it. And we try our very best to deal with special dietary needs, which there has been a lot of them, be it gluten-free, diabetics, low salt diets. And, and that a lot of us, try to stick with vegetarian. And we have been able to fulfill a lot of those. A lot of people have donated their Boost and Ensure, which is excellent for our people that are walk-ups, be it homeless or street people, and they just need, a nutritious meal quickly. So we hand out our Boost and snacks quite a lot.
Absolutely.
We'll say to Tyler, who's put a few comments up about how well he's been treated there and the cans of stuff he's been getting. So way to go, Tyler. Thank you. Anybody at home that's watching, please give if you can, but if you need, please call the food bank and arrange a pickup. I've been asked to ask you, what is the bat phone?
Yes. So the bat phone, so that's because we didn't always have a cell phone. We had a landline, and then we were closed on weekends, and I'd come and it's like, you have 25 messages. So that takes time right there. So Now we have our phone number, and you can text or call it. Texting is amazing for some people that are only able to do that and may not have a cell phone and do it via their computer. So
Right.
519-878-3663, 519-878-3663, and that stands for food, 878 food.
Excellent.
So to make it easier for everyone. And we still have the business landline, but I could send that over to Sarah if she was on the other phone. But we can text a little bit. We try not to be on it all weekend, but at least we can see. On Saturday I said, how many are we up to? And she says, we have 24 clients already coming. So then by the time Monday rolled around, we had more like 70 clients, which is a lot for a food bank. But we fed, so 70 people knocked on our door, but we fed about 180, because some of the families have, 5 kids or 3 kids, and some relatives are living with them. So we try to fill the hampers to how many is in the family is what we're trying to do. So.
Well, but Karen, it still is a better thing that they've let you know ahead of time, so you have some time to prepare. That's not to say you won't take walk-ups, right?
Oh,
The more notice you have on a donation or a pickup, the better off you are. I serve on the Poverty Coalition, and we were talking about food sustainability this week at a meeting, and how many times was the food bank mentioned? Because we all work together in St. Thomas.
We do.
Whether it's if Ginny needs something and somebody has it for the Grace Cafe, or I know Work tells me all the time how cooperative we all are, especially during the run to Christmas Care. And then afterwards, he has a lot left over sometimes, and off it goes to help everybody we can. So
yes, and same with because I'm a member of the the Feed Ontario and Food Banks Canada, I do tend to get a choice of, a larger amount of items. Sometimes I may not have all the space. And the first people that I offer to share it with is the Elmer Food Bank and the Port Stanley Food Bank. And we all work there back and forth. Sometimes they'll have extra items for me, or they'll have toothpaste and I won't. So we can do trade-offs. So it works out really, really well. Really well. So
one or two more questions, Karen, and I know I'm firing a lot at you, but we have a very rich agricultural area, and I have seen a number of local farmers who are donating, especially through the summer, fresh goods to the food bank to really help with the people who need help. So tell us a little bit about your relationship with them.
Well, with the farmers, I do get like an egg quota from Egg Farmers of Ontario. The Dairy Farmers of Ontario, I get a little bit of a milk quota. A lot of times I'm still having to supplement that, and I would purchase them or they'd be donated. And we have the fridge and freezer space, luckily, for that. But our local farmers, so be it DeBacher, Common Ground Farm is amazing. Yes. And Cliff Parker just gave us, close to, I think it was 1,000 pounds of potatoes in 10-pound bags. And so a 10-pound bag we'd give to a family, but some of our single guys, they just want 4 or 5 potatoes. And but throughout the summer, we had fresh fruit and vegetables, loads of squash. We give them some recipe ideas. So it really is absolutely amazing. Our farmers in St. Thomas, Vicki Asher at the Horton market, she's given me any leftovers that were at the market that we could utilize. Everything is still fine. So we love to have, and we offer bread. You're not just going to get one loaf of bread from us. You'll get a few loaves along with your frozen meat, your fresh milk, your fresh eggs. And it's fun to have, if there's cookies or any little goodies that we always like to include. And then, of course, the canned products. And a lot of ours really do enjoy, like the canned chili for single men and the chunky soups and all that sort. But so when our farmers come and we have produce to offer, we had, corn in the summer from Common Ground, Harvest Hands with Jim Collins, amazing gentleman. And I know that you know him great, and he's absolutely wonderful. And he said that I taught him never to say no to anything. Doesn't matter what it is, because you will always find someone that could use it if you can't use it all. So neither of us say no to anything. So he shares almost every day he brings something by for us. So
fantastic. Oh, Karen, I think we're gonna have to bring you back because you have so many comments, we have so many questions. But we've also got Paul, from the CEO from the Chamber of Commerce, waiting in the wings to come on, and then we have the Big Brothers and Big Sisters on to talk about the edible holiday house competition. So we'll definitely have you back. This has been absolutely fantastic.
Well, it was great talking to both of you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Keep doing what you're doing, and we'll keep smiling and telling people about how to help.
All right. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Graydon. Have a good evening.
You bet. Take care. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, St. Thomas.
Yeah. Well, Graydon, I really like this format.
I think it's fantastic.
This is a way better way to get involved, ask questions, and I see Paul with us now, and it's great to have him on again here on Mayor's Update. And Paul and the Chamber of Commerce are doing something quite unique here at the St. Thomas and District Chamber of Commerce, and we're going to let Paul tell us all about the Shop Local campaign that the Chamber of Commerce is doing. Paul, first of all, great to see you tonight.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. And I was just as jazzed to hear Karen speak and mention so many wonderful names that do such an incredible job supporting our community. Obviously, Sarah Coleman there won an Impact Award last year, one of our business awards, the Unsung Hero. So kudos to these organizations. And I was chatting with one of the Rotarian clubs in town earlier today, and just extolling my praise for them in terms of just the incredible role that civic organizations play in building our community. And despite everything that's happened in the last few years, seemingly the old community's humming along. And Joe and Graydon, I mean, we sit on various committees where wear various hats in the community. But the sense of collaboration and the willingness to collaborate and the understanding that high tides raise all boats is something that's palpable in our community. So Karen and the St. Thomas Food Bank, and then the Port Stanley Food Bank and the Elmer Karen Cupboard, I mean, such great organizations to support this holiday season, which is my lead into what the Chamber has been leading, which is our favorite things, your guide to shopping local. It features over 100 local stores, items, services available in St. Thomas, Central Elgin, and Southold. And these items are being promoted by good, willing, voluntold folks like Graydon and his family, and other notable folks from our community. So we're going to actually be dropping hard copies of this in mailboxes throughout the community starting next week. And this weekend, we're doing a big launch at the Horton Night Market, their after party, where actually Graydon and I have been working together with a number of other volunteers to do a National Lampoon's photo booth. So we're still building out the particulars on that. I would love to say, hey, get your tickets, but congratulations to the organizers. They're actually already sold out. Right. But there's the day market, 11 till 5. Stop by there. We'll be handing out the guides. If you're lucky enough to have a ticket, stick around. But ultimately what we wanted, Joe, and I think this goes, for a lot of the initiatives in our community, is we just want to, promote the fact that shopping local is great for the economy, supports those small businesses that support us back in every turn. But otherwise, to showcase and highlight some of the great things that we have going from us, from beer to food. You mentioned Common Ground or Brywood Market, but with downtown stores like Given and Myrtle, it's so easy to shop local. There's so many great things, so many things that are unique to our community. And we're just, we were pumped. And this is a community project. Great. It's led by the Chamber, but it didn't matter unless we had the collaboration. And I'm talking everything from the City of St. Thomas to the County of Elgin to the Home Builders Association. I'm going to miss someone. I know I am. But a lot of groups came to the table. I said, hey, here's this wild idea. People said, okay, I'm going to take this. I'm going to own it. I'm going to run with it. And we've come up with this really fun, Christmas kind of Sears catalog, Oprah's favorite things, that really showcases our community and showcases not just our community, not just the ways to shop local, but the incredible people that I know I'm directly involved with that help build this community and make it better. So hopefully we've saturated the market. We don't want you to be able to escape the importance of shopping local. Just that importance. The other thing is, and I'll let you get a word in edgewise, guys, because I know I'm chatting pretty good, but we're also having a contest. So if you're like, hey, Paul, or hey, Chamber, you missed this item, this is something that's awesome, take a photo of it, be in their store, promote the heck out of them. We'll post it on our social media, we'll share it. And then we've got 5 different prizes that we're going to award throughout. So anything we can do to empower and help businesses, downtown businesses, small business. Heck, if you wanted to buy a chassis, the press trans of the world as well. Anything to support local, we're all about.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about these photos. Sorry, Joe. Mayor Joe.
Oh, well, okay. I'm jumping in because I saw Paul take a breath. First of all, how can somebody get this list? You mentioned at the after party at the market. Yeah. Is it on your website too? And where else can people find all this information? And as you said, perhaps add to it if they think of something else too.
Yeah, 100%, Joe. There's going to be 3 ways. One, we're giving everyone in the community a hard copy. So we're mailing this directly to your house. If you live in St. Thomas, Central Elgin, or Southold, whether you're a person or a business, we're sending it to you. So either, keep it yourself. You'll recognize a whole bunch of family and friends, everything from the printing to the design, to the people in it, to the items featured. Everything is local. So we're going to be dropping a mailbox starting next week. As of Monday, we'll go live with a dynamic PDF on the Chamber's website. So that's stthomaschamber.on.ca. And then where you're going to be commenting or sharing your own stuff is going to be on St. T Chamber on our Facebook page. So take a look there. We're going to kind of release a few things in snippets. But if you're looking for it, you can visit our website, go into social media, or just wait for it to arrive via post.
Well, there already is a demand. I've already seen on many of the St. Thomas pages on Facebook, who's got ideas for me? Who's shopping local? And so there's a demand out there, Paul, and you're fitting it. Just one other question. I know you mentioned some of the other people that help, some of the other sponsors, volunteer groups, the community groups, even the service clubs. I mean, all of those things are out there. Have you ever not been able to fulfill something like this? This is a great community because anybody sees a need, they jump in, and not every need fits everyone, but you've got a lot of great local businesses that were happy to jump in this time, and even some of them that are local businesses that perhaps not selling something that is Christmassy or something they could sell, they jump in and do your printing for you, your design for you. The type of businesses in St. Thomas is just, I don't want to toot their horn a little, but the Chamber of Commerce is what brings the glue together to bring all these groups together. So we thank you for doing that.
Well, I appreciate the kind words, Joe. We're a conduit to support nonprofits in the business community to make the change in St. Thomas. And going back to your thing, isn't it awesome? Like just the willingness to being like, I've come up with some pretty wacky ideas in my career since I've returned home. And, starting with the World Tubing Championships when I was at the Hospital Foundation, to coming up and saying, this is what I want you to do. And people kind of only maybe vaguely understanding what they're getting into. But there's absolutely the generosity and to do something good and the belief in our community. And also the fact that people get it. You want that change. You want that elevated park. And I feel like I've been saying some of this stuff on previous times we've chatted. Yeah. Make it, do it. Like, I think that's just the most inspiring thing about our community. And our businesses have had some of them are doing awesome. A lot of them are doing awesome, but it doesn't matter. It's still been this ridiculously challenging year. And any type of support that we can provide. But I don't know. I showed up to a meeting, invited 20 people, said we got 4 weeks to turn this up, pull this together. And we did it. And it was, and I don't know if you were one of those 20, great. And you were there, if you were one of those 20 people in the room, man, that's awesome. And that's just such a testament to our community and the dynamic folks that we're able to surround ourselves with.
Absolutely. Well, nobody say, well, it's been a really tough year. Not right now. Because if it's been a tough year in our community, then everybody pulls together and helps everybody out. It's not always easy to tell who's having the toughest year or the best year. It is just it's good for our community. So we have hands up. Yeah, we'll all come in. What have you got I could do? Or
Yeah.
Graydon, what can he do? And it just, I know he never says no. I get caught up in a lot of the stuff he doesn't say no to.
We'll be talking about that in the next segment.
Yeah, about gingerbread houses, we'll talk about that. But, it is, and it's a group of people all that not everybody knows.
Yeah.
I mean, those of us that are business people in town, business owners in town, and have employees, know the Chamber of Commerce and what the good it does being there for all of us. But there are other people who just live in our community and go, who are these guys? What is this? But look at the reputation this community gets because groups like the Chamber of Commerce and our service clubs and all come up in front of problems, not behind problems. So again, thank you for what you do there. And let's really blow this one out. We do a lot of work, whether it's in our downtown, but across the community of St. Thomas and the district, Southwold and Central Elgin, teaching people what businesses are there. And how many times I hear after I repost something, I didn't know there was that. I didn't know there was somebody out there that did that. Right. And so it's now also become, and I bet you get these phone calls too, but it's also become, well, I'll just Facebook the mayor and he'll know who's got elderberries or, whatever it might be. And it's good that we all do know each other's business. That's
absolutely. Right. Absolutely. And you being accessible just in that same way. And, and I do want to pump everyone's tires. I think I was on a call the other day and it was someone that was operates in a number of different communities. And this person shared with me, and maybe it was to butter my bread or to make me feel better. But she said there was no easier community to work with, to integrate, to get connected than St. Thomas of all the ones that she was setting up shop in. And I'm like, yep. You never want to slam any other one, but you want to make sure that we're the platonic form of what a medium-sized community can be. Right. And then again, that willingness, that accessibility to be able to tether to connect to Joe and say, hey, how can we move with St. Thomas to right. say, hey, great, and we need some grade A production quality stuff to pump the tires of the community when we're not able to meet in person. I'm surprised too sometimes where I walk in being like, hey, here's an idea. And people are like, yeah, let's go for it. I'm like, okay, great. I was hoping for that. I was kind of banking on it, but you're never certain until you get to the other side. And Joe, I want to just shout out to St. T Apparel, downtown St. Thomas, or maybe that's Platinum St. T. I'm not sure. But excellent jumbo shirt. I believe that's a St. T. one.
It is a St. T jumbo shirt. Yes.
Yeah. So nice rep. And I respect that.
And there'll be those that say you didn't have a tie on. Well, I just don't do that. I'd rather promote local businesses than do that. I feel a lot more comfortable being at the help level rather than watching it. We had one call in or a note in here. Will people in apartment buildings get the hard copy? And I would suggest that it's apartments, businesses, and houses.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So we went through the list and took looked at every postal code that we could get that was in our catchment area for the chamber, and we wanted to give a physical copy to people. We want people to keep it. We want people, if you have family and friends coming to town, whether it's the holidays or not, send it to them. Let them know what's good, and hopefully you're looking at it, and even you as the mayor, Graydon is one of the biggest community builders we have out there, that you're learning something new about our community as well. And and these guys are awesome. So this is Jennifer Babcock, who's an incredible chamber supporter. We just flipped over. This is the other one I was going to get you to go to Graydon. Are these going to flip over? Because this is
yes, I can flip to whichever one you want. You let me know.
No, this is great. This is.
Let me go back. Let me go back.
Okay.
Well, there's two beautiful people on this one.
Yeah. So, anyways, this is at the Royal Oak. This is the retirement, the senior retirement home that just opened across from Southwold Public School in Southwold. Jennifer Babcock on the left, who's the GM there, and is just absolutely incredible, passionate chamber supporter and great for the community. And then Nathan, who's the cook, and they're like, well, they're going to think we're married. And I'm like, well, they might. At the very least, they're going to think that you have a funny bone and that you've really kind of hammed it up for it. So, when I say people took it and run it, I didn't ask for this. I had no idea what the photo was going to be. I just said, we need to feature this, choose your space, set up the time with the photographer, write your bio, and get back to me. So this is what they came up with. And then, Graydon, you got to go to the next one, because this is, I mean, I love them all, but you just did such a fantastic job with your photo as well. Absolutely having some fun, repping some brands that are local. Now let's give, because we were chatting about this. Graydon and I were together earlier. We did a graphic. We didn't specify a print on your wall, so let's give this shout out now.
So there's a title that's directly over Robin Grindley original painting, and so I just saw this today. And, like, I love Robin, I love his work, and I was like, I hope Robin doesn't see this and think that we were like putting this title like right over his like beautiful painting.
I will take full accountability for that design thing. I think we knew absolutely that we were going to miss things, and I want people to call us out being like, what about this? Let us know. Like, the more we can share this, the more we can spread it, the more business we can generate. Again, you're going to have your favorite businesses being able to weather whatever storm they're going to do. They're going to stay in business. You're probably going to encourage other businesses to set up shop here because there's this incredible demand. We are a growing, dynamic community on the cusp of incredible awesomeness, and the small role that the chamber can play to elevate our business community and collaborate with the key players, we're absolutely all about.
Well, and as you said already here today, and also be part of it. I mean, I'm sure you're not allowed to come to St. Thomas or district and just sit there. You must come and be part of it and help the community. It seems like that's the unwritten rule. Everybody wants to be involved, and sometimes it's, okay, I'm going to give someone else a chance this time, and we'll go back and sponsor something else the next time. But there is in Elgin County, certainly the rule of, like I always say, volunteering or being a part of the community is the price you pay for living there. And we prove it with programs like what the Chamber of Commerce is doing and what other local businesses are doing, certainly over the next 6 weeks as we run through the end of the year.
Yeah. I mean, again, I love our civic organizations and what they do. And I'll also say this is obviously geared towards small businesses, but we have roughly 80 members of the Chamber of Commerce. And this isn't just chamber members, by the way. This wasn't just, hey, get your membership or whatever. This is any business in the community. We didn't tell any of the couples or the families that were putting together the thing what to include in. We said, choose your favorite things and get ready for that photo. But we also do have a listing of all the local charities. There's some incredible campaigns going on. I think ideally we're all increasingly aware of the hospice. The Hospital Foundation had a recently approved MRI. There's the Tiny Homes Project. There's, Big Brothers Big Sisters, who just did these incredible gingerbread houses, which I was supposed to compete in. Looked at the gingerbread houses, feel exactly appropriate for not ever having anything to do with that competition because I would have been shamed. But you want to what? If you don't need anything in life or the people you have, you're pretty well off. We would also encourage you to support the charities that we depend on that make our community such a great place to live, work, and play, for the vulnerable all the way up to, where the Hospital Foundation might be something that everyone uses. So we have a listing there. Again, it's incomplete. So if we're missing a charity and it's your charity of choice, again, let us know, but make this a dynamic project. Give it some legs. We'll do this. We'll drop it. You'll have the publication, but tell us what we're missing. Join us on social media to have that conversation.
Agreed.
Absolutely. All right. Now we know we've got Carolyn Johnson. She's been waiting patiently, but we are going a little over time here.
Yep.
So Paul, I really appreciate everything that you bring to our community as the CEO of the Chamber of Commerce. Like, the events you're putting on, they're absolutely fantastic. The way you're engaging more and more people and bringing more companies in to do more for our community, it only gets better from here. So thank you so much for all of this.
Dude, I appreciate that a lot. Thanks a lot, guys. I really enjoy it. And I'll come back anytime you have me.
Amazing.
You ask us if you've got something you want to share. Come on up and say, let's do Mayor's Update this week. We're happy to get good news out there.
Done and done. I'm not a shy guy, Joe. Thanks so much.
Hey, have a good night, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care, guys.
Cheers. All right, Carolyn.
Hi.
We're finally on. Sorry for making you wait there.
Oh, no problem at all. It was lots of interesting things to listen to.
Oh my goodness. There's so much information.
Yeah.
Carolyn, it's great to have you on here. And if you were not able to go to the Queso station this Saturday to see the greatest creations in town, you missed something. Right?
Yeah.
And there was many houses and kitchens in this city and area that for the last week smelled fantastic. The baking of gingerbread and the well, there might have been a few swear words when a gingerbread wall fell down and you kind of had to start over again. But that's all the fun of doing a contest like gingerbread.
Yeah.
I was going to say houses, but gingerbread buildings. It was. I will admit to swearing more than once, but
Well, I mean, we had quite the adventure, Mayor Joe. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've never built a gingerbread house before, so yeah, I've learned a lot. Let's just say that.
Well, your epic scale was incredible. Like,
it just kept growing because it was unstable when it was smaller. So let's put another wall on. Let's put another roof on, and it got there. But yes, I was to be the foodie guy because I do love to cook and bake, and Graydon was to be the artistic engineering kind of guy, right? And that would have been perfect if we all could commit a whole week of not doing anything but building. Right, but we couldn't. So it was one of those, and I will share that Stephanie ended up doing a lot of the artistic and design stuff too, because, after on the seventh day, I'm ready to hit it with a hammer or something. But it was so much fun to do because it isn't what we all do on a daily basis. And then get to judge on Saturday, to be out there looking at the incredible artistic and baking ability of people in our community, and some really neat, fun things that go with it. I mean, there was one entry that was a box of ingredients, and I laughed for about 10 minutes. I thought, well, this is the best thing I've ever seen. Why didn't I think just to do that instead of, But anyway, it was hard to pick winners in the categories. There were smiles on children's faces, and I know we say that around Christmas a lot, but there were smiles on children's faces that just went, wow, look at that. And I had some, 6 or 7 year old explaining to me that I had broken the rules and so I'm not eligible. So someone actually knew all of the rules and everything too. It was great to see. Fantastic to see.
Yeah, and Carolyn, what rules did we break? Because I wasn't aware of this until you told us.
yes, you were only allowed to build on an 18-inch by 18-inch platform. And what would your dimensions? We were a solid.
Yeah, we reached 25 by 25. It was quite big. Yes.
Yeah. There's the size of the board right there. That it should have been. Yeah.
And I didn't know that, Graydon. I just went and said, here's how it'll work. And then, as I said, as things kind of went south on a couple of evenings, it was, okay, we got to make this bigger because I got to put another wall over here. Yeah.
Yes, and I think you guys broke some rules about the entirely edible piece too. I might have heard a rumor about.
I think we were edible.
Structural? I thought you might have had something inside your gingerbread house.
A box inside.
That's not. Well, I suppose that is technically edible, but not really.
Results. Anyway, the staff at Wendy's got the gingerbread house on Monday morning, and it didn't make it till noon. I don't think. It was.
Well, that's here it is. This is it.
It's kind of whimsical, and it's only whimsical because a couple of things started to lean. So then we said, "Well, it's whimsical. We'll play that up." We put tiny homes on the top because we knew that the Tarrys were involved in this, and so yeah, we did some things that weren't real, but
very creative.
And then also there was a few other of our professional bakers. They're selling some of their baked goods on Saturday too, and
good.
Since Stephanie isn't,
this one's a favorite of mine. Did you see Jack Collier's first?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Oh yeah. So let me just go back. Let me go back to that.
Okay.
So this was our youngest builder. He's 17 month old, and this is Jack Collier, and this is his first subdivision build.
Yes.
I heard there were some bites out of this one, out at the back. If you look around.
Yeah. What a fantastic thing! Is this something you think we will repeat in subsequent years?
Yes, we absolutely. We've had such a great response from the public, and that's the question everyone's asking us: is this going to be an annual event? So our plan is to make this happen again next year. We are just negotiating to see if we can get a date at the queso station or not.
I'm in on the judging, and Graydon's in on the filming, but I'm not certain I'm going to bake.
I have to bake again. I have to, like, and now that I've had the challenge, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get like cardboard cutouts. I'm gonna laser cut them. I'm gonna remove them.
That's exactly what we did. We have to do that better. The engineering side needs to be more smoothly done than what we did.
And I got some good tips from Seed Confection. She was talking to me about the process and that it really should take weeks. Like you should bake your gingerbread and let it dry, and then build your foundation and let it dry. It's kind of like a process. So,
and I do bake it. I did know I had to make my gingerbread, chill it, and not bake it for at least a day, and a couple of days is even better. And then you're right, leave it in sheets and let it dry, become far more like walls. But we got so far into the process, we were having to do rapid assembly. And,
I did a similar attempt with I'm a mentor. My little sister and I had envisioned this a big and a little birdhouse, and it was an epic fail. We had gingerbread collapsing, and it was horrible. We learned
enough hands to hold up 3 walls. I would get, okay, I have to stand here for how long and hold these 3 walls?
That's right.
I found a really unique product that I really liked. I found a spray edible glitter.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
I will now use that for most of my baking, but I won't say I found it. We sent Stephanie out shopping, didn't we, Greg? We said,
yes. Well, she offered, and I was in the middle of prepping for taffy. Yeah. And I was so thankful that she went and did that for us, because like it was getting tight on time. I'll tell you
that. we had too much fun. And Carolyn, tell us, this was a fundraiser. Obviously, Big Brothers Big Sisters does so much great stuff in our community. Whether it's mentoring or bigs and littles, and a lot of other presence in our community. But this was a fundraiser for Big Brothers Big Sisters. How did we do?
We raised over $17,000.
Isn't that something?
And largely due to Doug Tarry Homes and Susie Dennis. Like, she was instrumental in getting all the home builders on board to sponsor our event. We had a number of home builders. MP Homes and Element 5 were gold sponsors.
Yes.
We had the Collier Homes, Gearlinks, Hey Ho Homes, John Roberts Signature Homes, Reliance Home Comfort, Steelway, and the St. Thomas Home Builders Association all came on board as sponsorships. And all of those home builder houses at the back of the queso station were up for silent auction. So we raised some money that way as well. So we are thrilled. Like, we wanted to do something fun. We have our traditional events and things, but we wanted to create a fun event that the community could be involved in. Our focus, although we raised a lot of money, and that's fantastic. We wanted to do an event where we could bring the public together and have some fun. And, it's the holidays, and, I never imagined how fabulous the houses would be.
Yeah. So, no, I had no thought at all of, especially after building ours, how hard it was. Oh. How great some of them are, and you really see it. But you know what? I thank you, because our community has certainly been through a lot the last couple of years, and to see the groups, as we just had Paul on, and we're talking about the food bank before that, adding fun events right now is really important to us, to let us see how much fun we can have in this community while we help others. And with helping the Big Brothers Big Sisters, and seeing the home builders entourage, not just home builders, but the groups that work with them, kind of leading the pack on this one was just great to see. We're a growing community, and everybody's really busy. As Graydon and I said, we did not have 7 days to build a gingerbread house, because we're kind of busy too. But to see the fun event that it was, can't beat that. And we need to do much more of that going forward as a way out of kind of the doldrums we've been in for the last couple of years.
Absolutely. So we will hopefully get to do this again and make it bigger and better for next year.
Oh, and I had my notepad. I saw some things that I think would also be great additions, Graydon. So you and I can talk about some different roofing materials I saw, and, and certainly how to join things together better. That would be good too.
Yeah.
Time management is key.
Absolutely. And what I didn't realize, and I was talking to you after about, was the fact it didn't have to just be gingerbread. It could have been Rice Krispie squares.
Well, that's why we called it an edible holiday house. So,
Right.
yeah.
It changes everything.
It's not mine either, though. I had Rice Krispies inside my gingerbread, and it still collapsed.
Yeah. And you know, there's just different ways for it to be lighter at the top and sturdier at the bottom.
I think that's key too. Yeah.
It's a real piece to it. So we will figure that one out.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
But Carolyn, what else do you guys have coming up at the Big Brothers and Big Sisters?
Well, our National Day of Giving is on November 30th. Yes, and we are heading down to Timbernook for our Christmas party this year.
Oh, wow.
We're quite excited about that. So to be able to get together again, we're outside, so we'll be able to do that. And that's heading into the end of the year. We're just so thankful, and we've got mint smoothies at the office.
Whoa.
Anybody needs to get some mint smoothies.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Well, we thank you for putting on such a great event. We thank all of the sponsors, and oftentimes they may be forgotten. They're not this time because they all played and participated well. But as I said, when you can make children smile with an event you're having, that's always an extra win. So we thank Big Brothers Big Sisters for coming up with the idea, and all of the people who worked on doing it. And I
do have to thank my judges too, and I want to thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
There was a great panel of judges.
Yeah.
You and Karen Vecchio and Jeff Urich.
Yes.
And Susie Dennis from home, from Doug Tarry. Home. And we had Janet from the Sweetgrass, and Samantha Wakefield from IFM, who's always a big
support. And I will tell you, it was hard fought. I mean, there was a couple of things that were even ties that needed a tiebreaker for us to pick. So it was that in each category, there was at least a couple, if not many, that we went, oh, I didn't see that. Let me go back and look at that one again, because so perfect. Had a lot of fun, doing that type of judging too. I was told early in my political career, don't judge anything. I mean, the right answer is you're going to make one person really happy and the rest of them not, right? But I love doing it. I know if Steve's still watching, he and I used to judge pie contests. And I remember the day of about 30 apple pies in a contest, and I never saw a smile that big. Steve said, oh, great, do I get to test them all? And we said, well, let's break it into groups of 6 and pick a winner out of that. No, he loves his apple pie. So, but all of these types of contests are something I just don't shy away from. It is fun to do for the community, and you're right. I've never been chased out of the hall for picking the wrong prize. So had I picked my own, I suppose that would have been some trouble. But I went into it knowing we weren't voting for us. So
yes.
But again, thank you for what.
Well, and I need to thank the public. We had a great showing, and people came out to even just to come and see it, right?
Yes.
So, yeah. So hopefully we'll have more of everything next year, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait. It's going to be. You have to use both levels of the queso station to show all of the edible house creations.
Let's hope so. Yeah.
Well, Carolyn, thanks so much for everything that you do for the community.
Well, thank you. You guys are so great to us. We really appreciate all that you do for our agency.
Let us know your events. We'll make sure the world knows that they're going on and how people can help. And as we said in the previous segment, when we ask for help in St. Thomas, it's always many more than we need. It's that good. So we'll keep helping.
We're blessed. Thank you.
Thanks.
Awesome. Hey, have a great night.
You
Cheers.
Too. Thanks. Bye.
I love our community. I love it so much.
I like, one of the comments was through Karen. Steve said he tried every one of the 30 pies, and I'll back that up. I'm sure he did that day.
I'll believe it. I would do the same if I was him. Like I love apple pie.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Well, we used to get to do more of that. So,
all right. So that was fantastic with all of our guests, and now we've got a quick a council update to go through.
Yeah, not too much from council this week, but the one I wanted to talk about mostly is online or phone voting, and we've kind of passed a resolution. A bylaw will have to come back to council to make it work. But last election, the 2018 election, I guess we had online and phone voting in all of the the 14 days of advance voting, and then we used a paper ballot for the voting day itself. We're going to try and go completely electronic, phone and online, but we will have some kiosks, some helpful kiosks in some of the places where we might normally have had a voting station. So there's somebody to help you if you want to kind of go to a location that isn't your house. But the biggest complaint we had in the last election, the biggest thing we heard about, was the lineups on voting day. This will, of course, remove all of those. So the minute you get your information in the mail, you'll have a special number you have to use to go online or to use your phone. The average time last time online was about 3 minutes, on the phone about 5 minutes to vote, and you can do it from the comfort of your home. You can do it from Florida. You can do it from anywhere you want to do it. And the secret is get everybody on a good voters list, and then give you a private number with which to use to vote. And so we look forward on the education part of voting, and you hear more about that. It's almost a year before we do the voting again, but we had to decide whether we'll do it this way or not. So we said yes on Monday night to that. Lots of other growth in our community. Council is almost fully engaged every Monday night that we meet with passing zoning changes or planning changes and who's building what. It is we are a city of full growth, and really in the next 3 or 4 weeks we start now into the budget for next year. We like to get it finished before the end of the year if we can. If we can't, that's okay, but we want to know what we have for capital projects and road rebuilds and stuff for the following year. So we'll be spending a lot of time looking at the budget in the next short while.
Very good. And so will that include the grants program that you guys look at every year?
Well, we're going to look at what we do during the budget process, Graydon, is set aside what we might use from a grant point of view, but we've really tried to learn, don't do that as part of the budget process or you'll really get held down. I've got some other neat ideas this year. We'll share with council about what else we might do as part of, instead of the grant process itself. But what we need to do during the budget side is set aside, it's usually 0.5% of a tax point in St. Thomas. We set that aside and then come back early in the year with how will that work.
Right. Very good. Any other items from council?
That's about, as I said, there's lots of growth things, but I think if we just cover those, we'll talk about, look, there was some other really boring stuff like water rates and
water rates. I mean, in Central-Elgin, that's a pretty hot topic.
Yeah, not in St. Thomas, except for how do I get a house in St. Thomas from Central-Elgin. The water rates and the sewer rates went up very, very small, and around here with what's happening in some other communities, it makes us look a little better, but in fact, it's a long-term thing to have water rates and wastewater rates. And we talked a little bit about how quickly will we need to build a new wastewater treatment facility. And so the conversation is started. Sometimes those can take up to 5 years to complete once you do the environmental assessment and stuff. So we've started the conversation. We're not trying to hurry, but we're trying to have capacity in place long before we grow out of the capacity needs that we have. So that's another piece. As I said, we will. Some of this stuff comes back as bylaws, so we'll cover it in another meeting. Also, Graydon, as it happens at the council. So that's I think we did a lot of good community conversations tonight. So I could sit here and be boring for the next half hour about some of the council stuff, but I'd rather us talk about how well this community pulls together on things when we can, especially in the last year and a half or 2 years worth of COVID. We've been able to still maintain that community love, even if we weren't always out in it. And it's really quite sincere. And council and we talk about that a lot, how productive and how community driven our town is, our city is. And you don't have to ask twice, as Paul said tonight too. So way to go, St. Thomas. Keep going. We continue to grow, and it's not the same old St. Thomas of 10 years ago or 20 years ago, but it's a new, better and growing and vibrant St. Thomas, and we'll continue to deal with the issues of the day. Absolutely. Well, Mayor Joe, I know it's getting late, and I really appreciate you joining us again this evening to chat with all our community partners. Graydon, I really like this, and getting questions in that we can answer right as they come in, or having a discussion rather than it just be, here's a list of what's happened this week. I really like the open discussion that we can have with this. So I like how this is working. We have to establish the time. We're sticking with 7:30 Wednesday nights for now to see if we can get that to be what you do, 7:30 on Wednesday nights. And if not, keep sharing with us what you liked, what you didn't like, what we could do better. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I love this format. It's so much more fluid, and I can move things around and change titles on the fly and then answer the questions. And also we can have call-ins. So we've talked about this on the last Mayor's Update, but eventually what we can have is we can have somebody on a Zoom call. You can call into the Zoom call and then get the link to actually join us live on the show. So that's the next level. That's coming, folks. Yep. So I can't wait. I'm super excited. We got to get some more counselors. We can have a little council roundtable debate. Well, yeah, because number, we could have 2 or 3. Yep. I'm not sure we should have all 8, but we've had a couple of counselors on, and they've been great shows to get information out. But if we get 2 or 3 for a good half-hour segment, I think it'd be a great way to share what's going on in the community, especially during our budget time. We can talk about. There's some stuff obviously we can't share if it was in in-camera discussion, but there's lots we can share about what the total budget is for St. Thomas and how much it costs to do the capital work that this year was a fantastic year for capital work, and we expect that next year will be even bigger and better. So we're catching up on the assets that the city owns. Absolutely. And I think once people understand what the amount is that they're asking in terms of the cost, what the cost is for what they're asking for, they'll have a better understanding of whether it's, possible or not possible, or whether you need additional government funding from a provincial or a federal level. And I think that's really important so people can be more reasonable when they're talking to you about things, whether it's, on social media or in council itself, which it creates a healthier community, in my opinion. Absolutely. We've done a great deal of housing changes this year. A lot of housing built from the shelter through the supportive housing within Dwell and the other pieces. And none of it would have been possible without the help of the other government levels of government, including especially the provincial government and Jeff Urick on housing. I mean, so we've become known as a committee, a city that doesn't mind trying to work on housing. The next level, of course, is trying to make some more affordable side, but we've got a homeless situation that we've really addressed in our strategic plan. But the province and the feds have helped us a lot with that. We're not shy going out and saying, if you've got a fund for whether it was transit or housing or whatever it is that the city has to deliver, please put our hand up. We'll take some of that and we'll do the right thing with it. And it helps lower the tax costs to the community because they are contributing. So we'll keep trying to do that too. We'll explain some more of that to the citizens of St. Thomas. Absolutely. And Steve's got a comment there as well. You can see that there. Councillor Steve Peters. Yes. Oh yeah, he's right. Because if we have more than 4, it's a meeting. And it would be not a good thing for us to be having a meeting of part of council. So we may need to probably leave it to 3 plus me,
Right.
so that we can, but we can get through the 8 on council in 2 or 3 weeks if we have 3 for a couple of weeks in a row. So
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. All right, let's put a pin in that, and I'll let you get back to your evening.
great.
Say hi to Stephanie for me, and thank her again for all her help with the
I
gingerbread
will.
houses.
And you too, Jess, and the new photo model child that you have is
Oh, I will, and I only doubt it's going to get better. No doubt it's going to get better.
yeah.
All right, it's getting late. I'm starting to stumble on my words. Have a great night, everybody.